Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Kenya is witnessing a kind of political intolerance, especially in funerals, and at this rate, I would simply propose that we ban politics in funerals. When you attend burial ceremonies and you understand that there are families who are really very sad, and you start playing politics and you cannot tolerate each other, then fight breaks in a funeral. It is a disgrace, ladies and gentlemen. Today, we witnessed drama in what many Kenyans are now saying was a fight, an altercation between the Matiani camp and Ruto camp. There was a burial ceremony in Kisii, and in that burial, members of parliament and certain dignitaries attended that ceremony. So Anthony Kibagendi, who is a very fierce critic of William Ruto, took the podium and he started criticizing Ruto that they were hoodwinked in 2022 to vote for William Ruto, who is a liar and cannot keep his promises. This did go well with the Nyakundi, who is also a member of parliament, who stepped in to grab the microphone from Kibagendi, and there was a very serious altercation that was very, very risky and dangerous even to the monarchs. It reminds us of the fight between the current Kisii governor, Simba Arati, and Osoro in 2022, when Arati criticized Ruto. And at this point, it seems the supporters of William Samoei Ruto are very allergic to critics. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a video that has gone viral. Let us watch it.
We were hoodwinked as a community and as a nation to elect a president who is a liar, a president who has wasted our
You will be the judge. I want us to look and interrogate what really happened, and you will tell me who was on the wrong. Because I know, depending on which political divide, the angle that you're looking at it, some will say it was wrong for Kibagendi to criticize William Ruto, that was a funeral. Others will say that it was okay for Kibagendi. The other MP, Nyakundi, should have just tolerated, accommodated those divergent views. But let us just refresh our minds, because that happened in Kisii. And the year 2022, when there was fierce enmity between Ruto and Raila, it happened between Osoro and Simba Arati.
Lift Valley. Wewe wacha. Kwa hivyo nataka kusema hii biashara.
Kindly subscribe to our channel if you're watching for the first time. And if you're our returning viewers, thank you very much. Just like and share our videos. Ladies and gentlemen, we are heading to 2027. And if we continue on this very trajectory, then I'm assuring you it is not going to be well with us. Because let us interrogate this. That was a funeral. Number one, there should never be politics in funerals. This is not the first time. There was a time when a Chesa camp confronted the camp that belongs to the Kakamega governor. And you saw how people really used crude weapons. That was Fernandez Baraza camp and Echeza camp. And people used crude weapons. They almost killed each other. Now, what worries me is that when all these camps are fighting, youths are being used. Now they are labeled goons and they are given some cheap liquor, some cheap money, and they kill or injure themselves. Yet, you can't find any of the relatives of the particular members of parliament who begin this war. That's why I'm saying that maybe we need to reconsider banning politics. We need to consider banning politics in funerals. But then there is a similarity between what happened between Kibagendi and Nyakundi and Osoro and Simbarati. One thing that is constant is that Kibagendi was criticizing William Ruto the same way Simbarati was criticizing William Ruto when he was the deputy president. And Osoro really could not contain it. He couldn't stomach the idea that someone was criticizing William Ruto. The same thing that happened today. And if you ask me, William Ruto is a president, and as a politician, he carries a very big burden. There are people who criticize Ruto every day. There isn't any single day that will pass without William Ruto being criticized. For example, today Gachagua met with the majority of MCAs from Muranga, and they really punched William Samoei Ruto. People call him Kasongo, Mwizi, wanasema rap mashamba. They accuse him of all sorts and manners of things. If we continue this way and we say that we do not want anyone to criticize William Ruto, then surely we cannot survive it. William Ruto is being criticized. What we should, in fact, if I were in the position of Nyakundi, if I were in his shoes, I would allow Kibagendi to criticize William Ruto. Then take that opportunity to counter all the allegations. For example, they could be talking about Ogamba is coming from that region and he's been given a ministerial position, despite the fact that I think most of the Kisiis voted for Raila. They could look at some of the roads that Ruto has done in that area. Just the other day, yesterday to be very particular, Simbarati led a delegation from Kisii and they met William Ruto. They were promised things and Ruto also showcased what he has done to them. And I think we should engage in politics of policies. You sell your policies. Unauza sera. And I think this kind of intolerance must stop, because we are going to 2027 and the battle is going to be between the status quo and the forces of change. The fact is, ladies and gentlemen, Matiang'i is controlling that area. And if people like Nyakundi are not going to accept that, then ole wow. In every region, people must be allowed to criticize the president, criticize Nyakundi, criticize Kibagendi. A politician must be criticized. The only thing I don't support is insulting a politician or a president, but Kibagendi didn't do that. He simply said they were hoodwinked. And I don't know why some of these leaders find it very difficult. And sometimes I like the way William Ruto responds to the critics. He says, just saying one term is not enough. Let them tell us what they want to do to us. That is the best way to do it. And so I fault Nyakundi. That was not the way to go. If they really believe in themselves, let them allow others to criticize, but they can counter with facts. William Ruto has been there for now 3 years now. Let them showcase their facts and say, all those who are saying that Ruto would wink them and that Ruto has not done anything, these are the facts. That is the way to do our politics. Ruto always says facts are stubborn. Let them present the facts. Number two, you saw the security of the two members of parliament. They drew out their weapons, the pistols. And so a pistol is not just used to scare. They can shoot it because I'm sure there were more than 5 pistols there loaded with bullets. Those were protecting Kibagendi, others are protecting Nyakundi. They endangered the lives of the mourners there. When you begin a fight in a funeral, please consider that there are children, there are women, there are youths. And you see, once that starts, you saw the security men there, and they were, drawing their guns there, their pistols. Had it gone beyond that, then youths from both sides would come. Those who support Kibagendi and those who support, Nyakundi. And then a physical fight will break. People would kill each other or injure each other in a funeral. And then we consider that people are mourning. Someone is burying a loved one. And then you go there and start a fight. I think it is a disgrace, and this should not be tolerated in any way. I don't really think that this is very, very wrong. Youths always look at leaders as their role models. I mean, how would that be looking at those two politicians fighting, exchanging blows there? Are they role models? Is that the kind of politics we want to present to our children? I think this is not the way we want to go. And this intolerance where sometimes you see Gachagua goes for a rally, like the other day when he was from the US, some youths met them and started throwing stones. This should be condemned because it is wrong in every sphere you look at it. So this kind of blows must not be tolerated. Let us exchange our policies and let us understand. Let me tell you why people should compete on policies. Today, Ruto and Raila want to justify why they are together. And they are telling us that looking at their manifestos, they look similar. They even they even mention something to do with housing levy. And they say both of them had plans to build houses. But when they were campaigning, they were very fierce enemies. Today, Kibagendi and Nyakundi are fighting. And politicians are very funny. Nyakundi is protecting Ruto, Kibagendi is protecting Matiani. They will be shocked by next year, but one after elections, Ruto and Matiani will be sitting on a round table, eating together, dining together, and I mean, even doing businesses together. Even today, I believe people can fight trying to protect these politicians, but when they meet at a certain level. That's what I've realized with politicians. When I look at Raila and Ruto today, I sympathize the youths who went to the street saying Ruto must go. Some were killed, some were injured. That the best that can be done to their parents is compensation. They're no more. Don't ever fight to protect a politician. Let me just warn you. We've seen it through the years. They will be using you for their own self-gain. After that, they are together and you are a forgotten lot. Who do you think was on the wrong side? Because this is a democratic country. Each and every person should be allowed to air their views, as long as it is positive criticism. How I wish that Nyakundi would have allowed Kibagendi to explain why he believes they were hoodwinked, why he believes that Ruto is wrong, and then he comes and counters with facts. I don't know what to think, but those were very not palatable sins and we should not tolerate them.